Hello, everybody. Welcome to day number 11. It is a Thursday night. Apologies for the late stream. I was out with family for the night. Streams do happen at 8 p.m. CST, and it looks like our music player has broken. But yeah, streams do happen at 8 p.m. CST. Just today was a bit different, things do get in the way. We got to be flexible with our drawing schedule. Anyways, without further ado, let's pull over to the camera right here, set a 10-minute timer for our warm-up, and let's get started. So, as we said yesterday, we are working on the Kiwano melon texture. What am I doing here? Nice. Let's try to fix that, what's it called? Oh, huh. I think I know what's causing... So, I use a plugin for this, music player, and it looks like... Let's see. Let's restart that at least. And if that doesn't fix it, we're gonna skip a song real quick. That also is not working. Give it a quick refresh. Real quick, sorry about this, just gonna get this finished. As you can see, I use Brave as my browser, so that's a bit funny. Okay, stop it, start it, apply it. Okay, there we go, good stuff. So yeah, so streams usually happen at 8. I was busy tonight, but now we're here. It is 9 o'clock. We're still gonna get our day in. We are going to try, so I did buy a desk for, also we're going to be doing a different kind of warm-up today, but we're going to start off normally. I did buy a desk for my apartment so I could actually stream on, because the other one I have is just not fit for this. I'm not even sure the mount for my camera will fit to it, and it just got delayed. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Obviously the streams will happen, quality may decrease, I'm not sure. It will be a bit stressful getting that all set up on that Saturday. This Saturday, actually, so 2 days from now. Which reminds me I need to start packing for my trip back to my apartment. But that being said, it still will happen, so don't you guys worry. Worst case is the stream is delayed into the nighttime a tiny bit. But yeah, I'm excited to go back to university. Says no one ever. Many opportunities. Glad to see my friends and my roommates especially. Always glad. I feel like over the break, going back to the hometown, not much to do, not many people to see. Only a couple people I meet up with every so often. So it's always, I'm always glad to come back. And hopefully this semester, I know I say this every semester, my classes aren't too chaotic. Took a new look at my schedule today. I don't have much going on. Definitely have time each day to stream and thankfully go to the gym. I was a bit worried about that. I do take going to the gym 6 days a week very seriously, so having the time to do that is very important to me. The only trick now is balancing streaming and study. That's my only big worry. I'm good at homework. In fact, it's rare for me to do poorly on homework. It's the exams that get me. But we're going to put a lot of effort into it, just like we are with our art. And so long as we put in lots of effort and we try our best, can't really be upset with the outcome, can we? We can, and I will be probably, but we're gonna accept it with, I don't know, a good virtue for that. We're gonna accept it gracefully, I guess. I don't know. It's also gonna get very cold. It's getting colder across the entire US, but it's gonna get very cold over the next couple days. So expect, oof, not the best line. Expect some complaints about my, lines coming in the future. I sincerely hope everyone's having an amazing Thursday so far. Please drop in chat what you're working on, if you're working on anything. And then we could also test if chat is working. Or if you're watching this later, please tell me in the comments what you're working on. It is not a dream, it sounds dramatic, but it is a, I really want to set up a Discord or something where people can also share with me their work. I would love to see it. I'd love to stay updated with those things because not only am I extremely interested into what the people who are joining me are working on, and I feel like it's very important for me to know, with how much I talk about it. But also it helps you stay consistent, especially when you're able to talk about it and remind yourself. Associating positive interactions and emotions with our work is very important. Sure, we can, treat it all as a discipline battle. You're like, oh, I'm not doing it because I'm not disciplined, or it doesn't matter if I like it or not. It does matter if you like it or not, because, you reflect that in your work and the quality in your work. And the longevity and the sustainability. So, I'm using a lot of fancy words just to say, make sure you're enjoying it. And I want to make sure that I can help you enjoy it by interacting with you guys. I want to see what you're making. Wow. And I'm not enjoying that, though. Jeez, wow. Too busy, you know, virtue signaling with all these positive and fancy words instead of focusing on what kind of truly does matter. The quality of my lines. Oh my gosh, wow. These are not looking too good. It's okay, because we're only doing one box today. I did say 2 days ago that we will be changing up our warm-up procedure, and our little adventure yesterday did give me a good reason to change it, because we're going to be doing an organic form, and we're going to try to make some cylinders pop off of it, so we can practice, not even just cylinders, but tapered cylinders. Don't know if there's a word for that. A torus? Is that it? No clue. But yeah, we're going to experiment with that today, and we are going to finish the Kiwano melon texture. I know I talked about it last stream where patience is a virtue and art is a long process, but I do still feel guilty when I'm not able to complete a texture a day. But I think the more I practice, the better I'll get, the faster I'll get. Just like I've gotten much faster at these boxes and stuff, despite the quality of some of my lines today. I do need to slow down my lines, so I've just noticed. See, look at that, much better. Yeah, as for me, as for the other hobbies, same old, still working on that game development. To not get too technical, I just made basically a graph of everything that I have to design. I basically made a large to-do list today, and echoed by one of my good friends, I have a lot to do. It's going to be quite the arduous process, especially when I'm making this game for free. I want it to be a free game, and I don't expect anyone to pay for it. So I'm going to have to really, once I release it, really beg for some donations there, because time is money. But I'm very glad to do it. It's a great learning experience, and I'm hoping to play the game that I make with some of my friends, especially because I'll be good at it. Uh-oh. Looks like my internet's cutting out. Oof. That's not good. I was hoping I fixed that yesterday, but it looks like... I mean, I only have one more stream here tomorrow, and then I'll be off at my apartment, but I'll try to fix that before next stream. Always some technical difficulty, right? Wow, my lines are knotted today. I'm using my elbow too much. I really need to focus on my shoulder. Anyways, so yeah, we're going to do some organic forms, and we're going to make some toruses. Let's Google this real quick. Make sure, okay, it's not a torus at all. Jeez. Okay. I've also noticed, strangely enough today, just as a personal tapered cylinder. Yeah, I'm not really finding an exact name for that. Anyways, I've been not been very patient today, so that may affect how I approach some of these drawings. But just because I started off the day, or had, you know, a day full of impatience, doesn't mean we can't change it right now. Oh, look at that amazing organic form. That was pretty good. And also, about a week from now, I will be releasing... Had a bit of a rough start there. We'll be releasing my stream to the Drawbox community, encouraging people to join me. I just want to make sure I'm fully committed to this. And as some of you may know, I'm not totally fond of the idea of a lot of viewers. So, little by little. Not that I'm nervous in front of a lot of people, but... I mean, I don't really do this for the views. The only views I do want are people who are consistently working hard, doing stuff that they love, and I want to, you know, bring the stream to them daily. I say this every day. Bring the stream to them daily so they have a good excuse to do it. Do a quick water break right there. I know I sound preachy, but I want to really nail it in that I'm here for that, you know? That's what this stream is for. I would love for you guys to join me. So, let's do some of that. I don't have my old papers from yesterday. I don't really care about looking at them too much. What we're going to do is we are going to, much like the form we have, and this is kind of part of our hour, but who cares? Oh! Wow, okay. Let's sink in. That was a bad line. We're going to do much better going forward. Lots more ghosting. That was my turning point. That was my breaking point right there. No more silly lines. That's a good thing to call them silly lines. Okay, wow. No day is perfect. Jeez. That's pretty good. That was really good, actually. It's also going to be a bit strange because not that I'm hiding this stream from my roommates, but I haven't told them about it yet. So either I'm going to tell them about it or I'm just going to keep it secret, and maybe one day they'll figure out what I've been doing every night at 8 p.m. CST. Or not. I don't really plan for this stream to go very far in the future. It's probably going to take more than a year to finish the rest of Drawbox. But with that being said, I don't really, you know, once I'm done with Drawbox, I'm kind of done streaming. But at the same time, I will need something to keep me practicing art, you know, to have an objective every day. Because otherwise, I feel like I'll just kind of do practice sheets and don't really do much with it. Okay, so even though the timer's going off, we'll give ourselves about 5 more minutes just to do the kind of practice we did yesterday where we'd have a... This is a perfect example. Here's our horizon line. So we're going to have a sphere right here, or a circle. And I'm actually going to, yeah, I'm going to construct these today. Or for this one, not just today. I'm going to do the bottom of these. And then I'm going to do one without these little guardrails. And then, what is it? We will maybe approach the texture. I'm not sure yet. The degree on this one isn't changing that rapidly. Never mind, it should have been. Oops. Oh. Yeah, these I feel like need to rotate a bit more. My left side is typically better than my right side, but we'll see today. So the degree on the top is slightly smaller than the one on the bottom. That's what we established yesterday. Let's do one out here too. Just like this. Always looks very chaotic, but there's some structure to it. This one's going to be kind of up. I'm going to start from the outside and go inside this time. I feel like I can see it a bit better that way. Looks like whenever I do it on the outside, it looks better. Because like these are only going straight in that direction, these are kind of going up. This is just a warm-up though, so we're not going to stress too much about it. You do have to remember as they go further out here, they will decrease in size. That's okay. For a warm-up, that's okay. So yeah, on this side, we're just going to do this again, but only the tops. So we're not going to do the, so the bottom would be right here, the top would be right here. The bottom would be like this, so the top would be out here. Bit too much, but it's okay. So if this one was like this, and this one's going to be like this one's going to be a bit more out, smaller degree. And finally this one right here is going to be very sideways, so this one's going to be the same. Maybe that was a bit more okay, maybe I'm being a bit harsh on myself. This one's going to converge quite rapidly, so degree is going to decrease quite rapidly, so we're going to do this. So we have that one right there, this one right here, which means we're going to have one like this. This, and then a really tiny one. So we're going to have a really tiny one right here. Oh, it didn't follow that line, so we'll try to fix that this time. Be a bit more mindful of that. Yeah, because it kind of had this curve to it, so this one's going to decrease a tiny bit, but it's still going to be about up here. This one's going to be this, so it's going to stick out a bit. That was a bit too much, wasn't it? This one's going to be like this. Yeah, because that, yeah, wouldn't have converged that much. If we do the rest of these, actually, so this one was like this one's a bit less, so. This one's pretty flat, so. This one up here will just be. So yeah, I think I should do it. I mean, I won't be able to do this on the actual texture, but it's a good practice, right? Challenging my brain. So this. So yeah, it is going to move up a bit, but not that much. Not as much as I did right there. So if this one's like this one's like this. Which means we have this up there. I'm starting to see it a bit more in my head too, so that's good. A bit much, yeah, man, those are always a bit excessive. So if this one's right here. Yeah, so it should have been, yeah. Minor axis is mainly the thing that's misaligned in these. Finally out here, I have this. These ones are pretty easy to get correct. So yeah, I feel like these are, it's bending too much, it's doing this too much, you know? It's going over. Get a quick water break. I just realized, like, man, I'm really tired. Yeah, it's because we're streaming about 2 hours later than usual. Apologies once again for the delay in the stream. We'll finish this and we'll start the timer for the actual texture. In fact, what we could do here, I'm going to do another one of these. We're going to do it better, of course. And then I'm going to fill in the insides of these with our little, you know, things from the, whatever it's called, Kiwano melon. So, yeah, okay, sounds fun. So, we're going to go right here. This one's going to be, that. I think I'm being a bit willy-nilly with my lines, so I'm gonna that, return back here, then do that. So if this like that, Should have ghosted a bit more. Oh, did the lines first on accident. Oops. I don't think that's how I want to approach this one. Finally, the sideways one, which is going to be really thin. There we go. And we're going to move up again. Next layer, essentially. Now all the others can kind of inform us about the height that this should be to look better. This one's going to be super thin. That didn't give us the bottom to find where the lines should be. Down here. See, that was just intuition. I didn't even need to look at the other ones. I just kind of have a feeling that that was how it should be. So yeah, that was honestly kind of better than this one. That's going to look great on the thumbnail. No. Let's do it again right here, and then start filling it up with our little Kiwano melon spikes. Let's move over to our reference. And since we're technically doing the texture now, and I don't want to pull you guys that late into the night, right? In fact, that was 20 minutes of a warm-up, so yay. Take a quick water break again. I am very thirsty tonight. Awesome stuff. Okay. So, hour timer. Let's get started. Yeah, okay, so, do it again. As easy as that, right? We have this, even though the center line kind of goes right here, so this one's going to be right here. We'll make them somewhat big on this one. We're just doing the tops here. So this one's going to look like this. I'm going to go out. Don't want to bend it too much, because we want that. Let's see, so we have these contour lines. It's going out towards us. So, and this one, even though it's in the center, it's going to bend a tiny bit like this, I think. So, this right here. Yeah, we had that in the center. This one. I'm trying to imagine if it went up or if it went down. Because it's going to angle one way slightly. I think I'm going to do this. There we go. Yeah, because the longer these are, the more it'll point in that tangential, not even tangential, normal vector. So, like, even if the normal vector was perfectly, like, let's say there's a line right here, it's the horizon line. Even if it was somewhat perfect, this horizon line, and all these circles, you know, were on this line, all their minor axes were on this horizon line, the normal vectors from these ellipses would like, if there's even a slight imperfection, which there isn't in a hypothetical perfect scenario, but even if there's a slight imperfection, those normal vectors will start pointing in the direction that the slight contour line was, if that makes sense. It's a lot. I'm not going to draw a diagram. So yeah, these are pointing down, so this one's going to, if it was right here, the normal vector would be pointing out and downwards a bit. I'm really focusing on getting this one somewhat right. So, I feel like I'm just staring at it. I'm not actually, like, contemplating. So this, if it were to stick out, my brain's somewhat having trouble making it do that. So it had this originally, and now it's like that. So we had that one. Now we're going to have a thinner one right here. It's going to extrude this way. Oof. Yeah, those lines kind of had to go like this, but whatever. These are going to be somewhat spread out on our actual drawing, so... Not totally feeling it yet, but we'll see. This one should have been pointed down a lot more. Whatever. Ah, this is kind of falling apart now. I swear I do it twice and then it does not... It's never the same after that. To this one. Yeah, I'm not ignoring the fact that we do have the fact that we can use other ones to help us infer what the next one should look like. We won't really have that in our actual texture. I am not thinking right now. Wow. Yeah. So in fact, I'm gonna put a pause on this one right now, and maybe even just a stop. And we're gonna go over here and we're gonna start once again trying to model the Kiwano. As we said earlier, this will be the one we actually do it on. So this will be a rough estimate. Let's look at those little spikes again up here. Not even using the backside of this yet, no. I did say I was a bit impatient earlier today, but we can just still turn that around. Just gonna try to draw some like at varying angles. Just tumbling them in space. So let's say I want to move this one a bit to the right, so it would just become like this a bit. So if it was like pointing out this way, pointing out this way, like two eyes, just like pointing opposite directions, I guess. Let's rotate this one towards us a tiny bit. Actually, so this one we're going to rotate it towards us a tiny bit, so the degree on the top is going to get larger, the degree on the bottom is going to get larger, and the height between them is going to decrease. And then we'll move that one, orbit it to the side, which the degrees will stay the same, the height will stay the same, it's just the rotational axis will now change. Now let's bring that one towards us for funsies, so degree will increase, height will shrink. Major axis shouldn't decrease that much though, and it did. Okay, let's do it over here. So yeah, these actually will probably look like, oh wow, look at this one over here. Very cylindrical in nature until it has that taper to it. So let's draw that one real quick. Trying to do our purposely broken lines, and then not even that, it's like a... So yeah, this is his first attempt. The second attempt of that would look like... It really does just go straight down and then curving after that. What we can do is we can break the line as we get closer to the bottom. I don't know. Maybe some shadows come off of it over there. Yeah, who knows? And then up here, of course, we do have like... So it's not going to look like this. In reality, that's going to look like this, and then we'll add something like this in there, I don't know. Kind of texture it a bit. Like that. It looks weird, but that's the best I could do to texture it. Then we can give it some shadow. I think the shadows on this one will be kind of the saving grace of the form. And remember, we're shining a light from the viewer, kind of, so, you know, this one will have a shadow kind of that way, causing this. This one will have a shadow. And once it hits that mark, it's going to do this weird kind of shape on it. This one is going to go that way. It's going to hit the bottom of it. That. Kind of just throwing ink at the page, you know how it is. Shadows are actually kind of help me, like, the depict how the form should be. Like I'm putting shadows where I think the form should be, instead of where it technically is because of my drawing. So yeah, this wouldn't have shadows like this, but I'm doing it for funsies. Kind of like that. So yeah, these would start projecting shadows on them like that. Let's get to the actual melon. This was my really messed up line, so we'll kind of correct it like that. Without ghosting, because I guess we're like that. So yeah, this one goes on the outside. This one goes on the outside. So, you know, if we had one right here, which we'll do, it's going to kind of look like this. Nothing too crazy. We'll have one right here. It's kind of pointing. Be kind of pointing with this degree. It's not gonna. It's gonna do something like that. This one's gonna be. We're gonna have our ellipses, and they're gonna decrease like this, and then. So intuitively a bit like this. So we're gonna bring it out from there. So if we had this ellipse, I guess I'll just kind of ghost like this to help me visualize what's going on. That was pretty large. Scaling will be an important and somewhat difficult one during this. Oh, one of these edge shadows could be kind of cool. That's not at all the right place for it. It'd technically be right here-ish. That's an option. Ones up here would be quite easy. Not only are they smaller, but their degree is very small. Not only are they very much smaller, but their degree is also small. Yeah, okay. I don't think that was the right play for that one. Not much analysis today, I apologize. Definitely, definitely less patient, like I said earlier. Okay, these two were great. Let's return to that. So if we have this one, we want to move up a tiny bit. So this degree will shrink, so it's a bit squashed-ish. Not totally. This one is squashed in both directions, so it's kind of tilted. And if we have that going on, this one's going to share in that kind of too. Why did these work? I think it's because the top parts were so small, and I continued the taper around them. So like, for example, say we have this one, so this one we'll just put one in the center for funsies. And then we'll go up and to the right. We're here. So we'll do this. Oh, and like we said earlier, we'll return back to this. Do some of that. Yeah, I'm not too opposed to that. I guess if it's like slightly, I've been avoiding it, but say we have this and then it goes right here. So it's still slightly closer. We'll bring it up a bit too. We'll do this one. Remembering the size of that. It'll get wide pretty quickly compared to that one. That degree should have been larger. We'll do one really close. feel like these need to be smaller. I keep making them way too big. Like about height still should remain about the same. But yeah, size of these super small. And that was in no way correct perspective. So if we're gonna do one right here, we have this circle, super small, fast taper. Didn't do the taper correctly. Just gotta make sure these lines are straight down. Okay, I say we do an honest attempt. I know I keep saying that, but we do an honest attempt and then we just go at it. Can't spend that much time on these textures. We gotta, at some point, just try our best, right? Trying to focus as much as possible. Halfway through this one, I realized the actual one is much smaller than that. So in fact, this was a pretty big estimate, so it's a bit plump, but I think that's okay. Little eggplant. Oh, wow. Little eggplant looking one. We have one down here going like this. Wonderful job. This one's it. I feel it. Move this one to the side, just in case any more flying markers appear to happen. Oof. Not the best one, but it's okay. We can take a quick water break before we approach this. In all honesty, if I could, and I probably may in the future, take tracing paper to this just to like try to understand the form a bit more. Yeah, should maybe look at this one a bit and switch up. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Man, Pure Ref's controls are a bit weird. These are so very steep, and this one is like almost another circle is inside of it. Like there's another circle around it. So it doesn't even go down that much. It just kind of goes around it. As if there was a line going through the center of the center ellipse, and it's following that, and then it avoids it for a second, and then it returns. So right here is about our horizon line, I'd say. Actually, even like, yeah, right here-ish. So that would be right here. So we're going to have that tiny one. We're going to make them really tiny like we said. Good. Let's do a tiny one right here. Remember, we're going to have a thing around it. So horizon line, move up, move the side. Not sure how I feel about it just yet. I think this is also one of those scenarios, and I've talked about this in the past, where I'm trying to squish a lot of, like, I'm trying to do a reference, and these ones would be, like, almost right here, but I'm drawing them right here. So that's really messing up my perspective. So if I were to draw it correctly over there, so yeah, this one would still nearly be a circle, actually. Most of these would, near the center. Maybe a bit of a height to them, but I've been, I guess, dramatizing these a bit? I don't know. Heck, I may even start with the outside ones and then work to the inside ones. So outside ones. Maybe that's the trick. Because this one I don't like, this one I don't like, but these that I've been making, I'm okay with. We start with the top and then work our way down. Since you can see the inside of this, we're going to put it on there. Gotta be careful with that. If you can see it, if you can see a tiny bit of the inside that's on this side of the Kiwano. Had a bit of a to it. That one. I think we're getting, guys. I think this is good. Yeah, most of the outside ones do have this, like, mostly a taper to it. So we really gotta focus on that taper a lot more. Heck, sometimes the full ellipse isn't even there. I'll show you what I mean by that. So, like, right here. And then you go up, and then it's around. And that one was a bit, degree should have been higher, but you get what I mean. So I think we should decide on a height too, because these are a bit random. So there's going to be one right here. It's going to be practically it's going to be mostly a circle, basically. Okay, we're getting close. I hate to do it again. I know I said I'd, like, stop, but we're so close. The shadows would look a bit like this. It is very important to note that we do need to plan these out because of, like, situations like this where we have one right there and then we can't put one under it because our lines would be overlapping. Even though technically we are defining forms, and so, you know, within, like, drawbox philosophy, drawing through our forms is good, but yeah. So we've waited enough. I think it's time we commit. No matter how bad it looks, we try our best. That's kind of what the whole thing is about. So let's really plan it out. We have lots of spikes on the sides, so we're going to try to, and especially up here. Select one like this. We got this. Stupid fly. Oh my gosh, of course, like, a fly gets in my way. Get out of here, man. What are you doing? Get out. Oh. Okay, hopefully he got out of here. I didn't want to hurt him, so. Let's, little dude. Okay. Oh, it's on my face. Wow. Get off. Perfect distraction. Oh my goodness. Okay. Trying to decide where my first one's going to be, because that kind of defines the height of all of the other ones as well, so might as well be a good one. If we look at this, one of the successful ones is like this or that, so we shall see. Good first start. Great first start. Okay. Let's keep it going. Oh man, so much to do. I am dramaticizing these a bit, but I think that's okay, given the nature of the assignment. So this one, I feel like there would be one like this. Just right here doing this, and then tapering it downwards. Okay, that's okay. A bit thick. Bit of a thicken, but I think that's okay. Let's do, that's a bit tricky to do one right here. Let's see, we'd have an ellipse kind of curling like this, so it'd have, I feel like that's a bit too in line with that, so we'll move it right here. Oh, this fly is awful. Get out of here, man. Hopefully, okay. Hopefully you're no longer there to distract me. Yeah, I completely lost where I was. Okay. So we want this on the surface. It's going to reach up to this one. Ink, please don't do this to me right now. I had to blink right there, but I didn't want to. Oh, it's so stressful. That was a bit small. It's okay though. Looks like a snail. Whoops. A lot of symmetry on accident there. Do one like right here. I have a feeling actually this. So the form is kind of like going like this, like my wrist right now. Or like hand, I should say. It's just kind of like this curve right here. So this one, if it was right there, would be a bit like this. Yeah, because I keep thinking this is a contour curve on the top of it, but it isn't. It's going through the center of it. So yeah, these would actually be curving outwards. So we could have a... Oh, my favorite song, yay. Give Me Strength, favorite song. Okay, remember, since we're in the inside, don't dramatize it. I guess that's a word now. Because if we had one right here, it's going to be a bit like this. It would have that outer part. I'm not going to draw it, but we just know that it exists. So if we had one right here, It exists out here a bit. It's a bit thick, but it's okay. Not totally in camera, apologize. Plus I should probably just bring this closer to myself. Didn't draw that one far enough out. Given the degree. That's okay though. Ooh! Oh, dang it. Well, it's okay. Back suit. Everything's like itchy, bothering me, like... Oh, jeez. Okay, let's do one more in the center right here. So it would have one right here. Feel like it's a bit close to that, and it'll kind of ruin the perspective, but it's okay. Because this one is assuming right here has this size ellipse, which isn't totally true, but... That isn't totally the size I wanted, but that's okay. That was okay. I think the shadows will define most of those. Should have ghosted it. It's okay. I feel like I need to crowd it a bit more and it'll start looking better. Add more to it. This one. So if this one does that, then a closer one, if I wanted to like, it's stuck on there like this, right? I want to, you know, move it inside. So the degree will increase. Well, touchdown right there, so. This one's making me a bit upset, but it's okay. I'm not going to do that. Thankfully the ink didn't touch down right there, so don't have to worry about that too much. Looks very alien. Saying that kind of reminded me of this design is very human guy. I love that guy. Don't know what to do with these two yet, but we'll figure it out. If I had a top of one right here, it'd be a pretty large degree. Because then it would go down right there. It would barely even go down right there, wouldn't it? It'd be mostly up and down. So if I did one like this. Oh! No, whatever. Trickier. That's okay. This is making me upset, but it's okay. Yeah, these are very tall compared to the Kiwano. They're so tall. That bothers me, but whatever. I think the form is impressive, but my observation abilities definitely leaves much to be admired, I guess. I don't know. Just Kiwano Melon on steroids, basically. Raining the stream that... Actually, I'm not even sure if YouTube would appreciate me putting steroids in my name, so... I'll not do that. Feel like, yeah, we need some more in the middle. We do one right here. That wouldn't work out too well. Because this one's believable. This was an attempt, that's for sure. That's such a nice way of saying, oh, I don't like it. We still have the shading part, so maybe that could save it. Who knows? I don't know what to do these center ones, but maybe the center ones we could like I think we would just do that. Yeah, these are making me upset, but whatever. Need something right here. Okay, we'll do more on the outsides. Those looks like little COVID, or, you know, pathogen little thing, you know. Don't know the name for it. Not no scientist. silly art man, right? Huh. I feel like we could place one going like this. Okay, before we keep making this worse, let's add those shadows to it. We have to decide a general direction, and I'm gonna assume the light center is right here, so this is gonna go off a bit that way. So yeah, light is going in this, so this one's gonna go a bit like that. These will go a bit like that as well. Add that taper to it a bit. So it's gonna start, this one's gonna be pretty even. So if it's going right here, these are gonna go back. That's not totally in line, whoops, well. You win some, you lose some, right? Definitely not my best work, and in fact, I'm pretty upset with this, but, I mean, whatever. We could have spent 100 more days perfecting this, or we could just go to the next texture, which sometimes you have to do, and that's okay. I think that's the hardest for me, because I could do analysis all day, I could do whatever all day. The hardest thing for me in Drawbox probably is understanding that nothing you're going to put, or you're not going to put something perfect on the page every single time. That's been very hard for me to accept. And yeah, this is definitely one of those times, right? Oh, Jesus, yeah, that is not good. That is not good. In all honesty, that is not good. We'll try our best to save it in the 18 minutes that we have, but I'm not too proud of this. It's okay. Yeah, these shadows have no general direction. That this one should be pointing this way. I don't want to be too critical of my own art, but I'm not proud of this. Yeah. Ooh, man, I'm upset. Whatever. Trying to think of ways we can save this. Don't really know. The fact that it's already this bad gives us some leeway to maybe experiment. So I say ball. And maybe we could do dots to represent those little lines that we see here. In fact, why not? Let's do it. We'll do those little pathways it has. So it has like one going through like right here, right? Around all of these it has little... Yeah, because it's already so messed up, I mean, whatever, right? Might as well learn from it and do some fun stuff. Gotta have bad days. Now, I'd rather not make it a consistent thing, but yeah. We'll have this one curve like this through here. This little clear section here. There's that, I wouldn't say regret, but that idea that, oh, if I just want more time in analyzing it, sure, but I mean, you gotta commit at some point. There are those little, like, waves in there. We could try to, like, each of these have its own, like, little, like, here's a splash, and then we could have a wave of it, like, going like this a bit through here, and then closing up over there. Are these dots existing here just to cover up my mistakes? Yes. Do I care? Not really. We tried. And you can't say we didn't because we did an extra day of just doing these cylinders. We all do have that bit of perfectionist in us, and that's okay. I mean, that's what helps us strive to try, right? And aim for difficult things and to do them correctly. But it can also be a bit dangerous. And I guess we just need to know when to tell that perfectionist to shut up, and that's wrong. Maybe this can make it look a tiny bit better. I mean, it's tedious, but hey, call it punishment for doing a poor texture. Yeah, that texture's going towards the light. What did I just do? That's a bit ridiculous. We can thicken up the dots as we get closer to the back, just to give it a sense of depth. So over here, and we can add one of these. Some thicker dots. So yeah, these dots are going to be pretty heavy, pretty dense. Ugh, gosh, these were too much. Less is more, I know. Get that tattooed on my hand for these streams, just so I remember it. Probably not as focused because it is later at night. Still have to go to the gym. Oh my goodness. How unfortunate. Thankfully I like going to the gym, so it's okay. jeez. Should have done the thoughts around that. This is just a crazy mix of terribleness, isn't it? I guess the word to say, I feel flustered. Like I can feel myself actively getting upset about this. I can cope about it all I want, but at the end of the day, meh. Right? It's just one texture of thousands, if not millions, that I'll draw over my lifetime. Draw over my lifetime. Draw. Why can I not say that correctly? Draw. Whatever. Stupid American accent. I feel like whenever I stream too, I just pronounce words incorrectly. Quite a bit more than I typically do. Should have introduced more light sections in the center. I wouldn't say intuitively, but I keep having like ideas in my head. Just be like, put fail right next to it, just so they know that you know. Why do we do that? Why do we think that we have to put like, oh yeah, I acknowledge that this is ugly. To tell the world that, yeah, no, I know I failed. Is it like a defense mechanism? But hey, we'll get better at it with practice. Not here to make the Mona Lisa or anything. Is the Mona Lisa even that crazy to make? Why is it so popular? Maybe I'm just like a critic, but what's going on there? What's so crazy? Like, didn't people not know about it or care about it for years? Yeah, I'm doing shadows on both sides. Oh god, that's awful. Maybe the Mona Lisa was something. Maybe I'm just bad. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. Oh, I hate it. It's so bad. Why can't we all just be instantly good at art and never produce anything that is terrible? And get good grades on all of our tests and hit 305 without tumbling over? Or like dropping the weight at all? I mean, yeah. If you fail in 305, you're not looking too good for the next year of your life. Christ. No, I mean fail, I mean like fail, not just like, oh. Buddy had to re-rack it, no. Thickening up the sides to give that sense of depth. I kind of roughen up the sides of the pathway we made here because the one over here isn't that noticeable. I kind of dragged my pen too much alongside this, so the line is a bit more noticeable. See, this one looks okay. This one, it's doing its job. The rest, like that, ugh, what is happening there? It's times like these where I wish I had an eraser, but then I would be erasing all day to the point there would be no paper left. And if Uncomfy ever saw these streams, wouldn't say he would be disappointed. I don't think he would ever be disappointed in a Drawblock student, but I think he'd be surprised. Surprised is a good way of putting it. Yeah, the dots are helping it recover a bit, but a bit. I almost want to add like a shading around it, but that's probably a bad idea. Really putting some force into the ones on the outside now. Trying to mess up that interior one to make it less noticeable. Should have like really decreased the ones in the number of dots in the center. Ooh, this is not good. I mean, if you look at it from like 8 miles away, it probably looks pretty good. I don't know what to do about these. They kind of, I mean, they stick out, that's the point, but like, I feel like adding dots on them would be, yeah, doesn't look too good. But now that's very obvious. Dang it. We'll leave that there. Oh, man. Yeah. Wow. This is pretty bad. I'm like sitting all the way back in my chair right now just so I don't have to see this. Like, I'm not even trying to be self-critical or, you know, like facetious. This is just rough. Thank God we've had 0 viewers this entire time. I may just like delete this stream. I won't. It's part of the process. I'll say like someone walked in and made this awful texture on here and then left to like mess with me. Man. Wow. This is we've done much better, and we will do much better going forward. Let's slap the name on it, get it over with. Believe it or not, this is a Kiwano melon. Let's do an easier texture next time, huh? I think that's not a bad idea. Oh, I just hate looking at it. All the regret and everything just swells up in my body. That is awful. Well, let's just do something that'll make me happy for the rest of this time. I'll draw a box. Oh man. It is what it is. Definitely didn't fail. That's for sure. No. That line just made... That line just made me so... Like, I was about to cry after that line, I'm not gonna lie. That's upsetting. Maybe instead of moving these streams later into the day, we should move it earlier into the day. More awake, more focused. Maybe that is a part of it. I do have time to do that, but I don't think the people watching, the lovely people watching, would have that kind of time either. Or would, yeah, whatever. Not all there tonight. As evident by my amazing Kiwano texture. My shame. That is my shame right there. Hopefully, like, whoever is critiquing my work once I'm finished with this, just doesn't look at that. If they comment on it, I will cry. I will say that. If they leave a comment who's like, "What happened with the Kiwano?" I will cry. And it'll be Uncomfy's fault. We all have bad days, though. I swear, I'm just waiting for the timer to count down now, which I know I shouldn't. It's never a good thing, but we have bad days. It's okay. If anyone here watching, even though there are 0 concurrent viewers right now, but anyone watching in the future, are also having a rough day like mine, it does get better. We'll come back from this one, as impossible as that may seem, improbable as it may be. We will continue improving, and the Kiwano will rue the day for being so difficult to draw. I can cry as much as I want about it, but we will improve at art nonetheless. You guys tell I'm coping, because I can. I just keep telling myself these things until they become true. Which is kind of the nature of positive self-talk, but yeah, that is, it's rough out here. What a great way to kick off the first page. Oh my god, maybe I should have saved the harder textures. Also, I love these straw box pens, but this one is really upsetting me. I mean, I've had these for months now, but still. The fact that like I have to pick up and drop it constantly is a bit annoying. Maybe it's just user error. Or you double check this one, yeah. Just kind of messing around with this box right now. Not really expecting to do anything amazing with it. Oh, Cav, why'd you mess up like that? Huh. Strange. Oh, like a piece of fuzz in my mouth. I was like, what in the world? That's disgusting. I'm not going to comment on that. Good line. Maybe we need a therapy day tomorrow. Because even this box is awful. Timer's up. Okay, we're done. We're done. Pens down. I'm not even, I usually like look at my page. Okay, here it is. Let's talk about it. Wow, what did I do wrong? We're gonna do our Delano analysis of the day. We had a good setup here. We have a good understanding of the cylinders, and how height and stuff works. We messed up. I hate looking at it. I actually do. Okay. The forms were generally okay to the center, and especially got poor whenever we started adding these shadows in, because we just don't understand how those shadows work in this context. We didn't set up our light source, and we just jumped into it too fast. Kind of ironic how I commented on my patience earlier stream. So going forward, don't jump straight into it, especially with these heavy shadows. Think about it first. Do a test case if I need to on another page. Don't wait, like don't do, infinite test cases, but do a practice one on the side before you commit to a specific line in here that you're questionable about. Less is more, as per usual. Oh, man. Oh, it's like a scar, like a gnarly misplaced scar. Actually, scars are most of the time actually seen as cool, and I see most scars as cool too. So I shouldn't see this as a not cool thing. It's so hard to accept that I did so poorly today, but it happens. We'll swallow our pride, all that. Oh no, and some of my pages. No! I bought this new binder for Christmas to hold on my art, and I was like, oh man, it's so cool, it's so awesome. It's already bent a couple of my pages. I'm quite upset. Wow, this has not been the stream. I'm going to change the name of this to reflect my anger, but I just don't know something that can adequately describe how I'm feeling right now. Oh, goodness. Well, I hope everyone's having a much better time on their little personal projects and stuff today than I am. Yeah, that being said, thank you very much for joining me. We'll pick up tomorrow. Maybe we won't do actually, I feel guilty for not doing textures. I feel like I have to make it up and do a better one. We'll pick an easier texture. Less 3D, more, surface-based, I guess. But yeah, thank you very much for joining. I hope you guys have a wonderful night tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow. Remember, we have no, streams are now at 8 p.m. CST. We have no BRB screen. I'm going to be working on that this weekend. I am also moving back on Saturday, so streams may be a bit weird that day. I also have to go to the store and buy all my food. That'll be fun. But yeah. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining. I forgot to turn up the music. Wow, I'm all over the place. And yeah, have a good one.